You're not in limbo. You're never actually in limbo between your spiritual lessons. It's so easy to think that sometime out there, somewhere out there, that's when I'm going to be able to do my work, do the real work, do the spiritual work. But for now, I'm waiting it out because this is limbo. I just came back from Tulum where so many people were switched on in some ways, and coming back to the city in Vancouver, I thought to myself, this is my limbo between now and the next leg of my journey. And in limbo, you begin to slip because you stop looking at the world as a gift for you, trying to reflect your lesson to you in the moment you're standing in right now. And instead you say, it's not here, it's everywhere else but here. The divine is everywhere but here. My learning is everywhere but this present moment. How far from the truth. Dear Alexander and everybody watching, this is a reminder of myself, and I hope it can help you. There is no limbo. You're never stuck in a liminal phase between your spiritual lessons. You're swimming in it. It follows you everywhere you go. Now you might ask, well, nothing's coming up. What do I work on? The easiest way to figure that out is to find out what's pissing you off. What's the thing irking you just a little, poking you in the sore spot, just making you shrug, scoff, shake your head and say, oh, these people. These NPCs plugged into the matrix. This messed up world with rude people butting in front of me and horking and spitting. And I go into the pantry of my loved ones and I find all this poison they're consuming and I want to criticize. And everything's just irking me a little bit. Why can't I have clean water? Why can't I get cheaper organic food? Why can't rents be a little bit lower? And all of this stuff that's pissing you off is the crack in you that needs the light to shine through. You're never between spiritual lessons. They're coming to meet you in every moment exactly where you stand, and you'll know that you're done with the lessons when you live in complete harmony and peace. And everywhere around you, miracles occur. All of those who observe your state are lifted because they can see the truth in you, the truth of who they are. The one I'm working on right now that all of us can work on, judgment. Judgment of others. Judgment of my parents-in-law and the diets they're eating, the poison they're eating. Judgment for the people on the streets being rude, for the way people are driving. Judgments on the system, the taxation, the chemtrails in the sky, the 5G towers all around. Pick your poison, anything. Anything that's pissing you off is something that you have not made peace with, which is you not making peace with yourself. God forbid you stare into this little black mirror and you start looking at things overseas with children being bombed and little orange men running big countries, and you start to shake your fist and you get so upset and you spend all of your energy and your time on these external things that take you out of your present moment. And you might think that you're some armchair activist making a difference by scrolling and liking and posting, and you're not doing shit except for taking yourself out of the present moment, which is where your power lies. Your gift that you came here to give in this world that will help bring the most light into this world isn't your activism, isn't your scrolling, isn't your commenting, isn't your following the news, isn't your digesting. It's not convincing your parents to eat healthier. It's not trying to impose your will on anybody. It is you finding that peace. It is you finding the unconditional love inside of you so that you can drop your judgment and reflect back to the world where they come from and what they truly are, so that they can unpack the layers, the doorways between themselves and their immaculate souls behind every one of us. But the moment we start judging, the moment we start hating these people and these situations outside of ourselves, is the moment we separate ourselves from ourselves even further, because it's all one. We come from the same thing. And so you're just looking into your own shadow in this world, ostracizing it, declaring your xenophobia towards it, not integrating it. And the moment you cut somebody else out and you say the divine is everything but that person, and you draw a box around them, God is the child, God is the ignorant, God is the person cutting me off in traffic, God is that stranger, but God can't be those murderers. God can't be that dictator. That's not God. You draw a box around the divine and you make it your small God. And in that moment, you have just entered further separation, further egoic division between you and the truth of it all, which is you are the all. But it takes you reaching unconditional love so that you can reconcile that, so that you can bring it together, so that you can become the prophet to be of profit to everybody around you by reminding them of the truth, not through your words necessarily, but through shining. that involves words, that's great, but not foisting it upon anybody else. Ignorance is bliss, and for us to go in and to try to shift other people's lives' path because we think we know better, this is a reminder to myself, it's the most absurd thing to do. It's controlling the free will of another. It's taking their divine path and it's saying, we know better. Now, there's a difference if you're shining and somebody comes knocking at your door and shows up and says, can you tell me more? I'd like to find out more. Or you create a video and you throw it out into the ether and some people stumble upon it and they give it an ear and they say, can I find out more? That's different. You're not fucking with free will. But the moment you go into your family's house and you open up the cupboards and you look at all the poison and you start squeezing them instead of being the change, you start shaming them, you start trying to change the world forcefully. That is the definition of black magic, is controlling others' free will, is dominating them. And so watch yourself because you're going to carry more karma. It's going to make your life a little heavier. You receive what you are, you manifest what you are, you start dominating others and you will receive domination from the outside world. You need to be the unconditional love you're looking for. And so I have to remind myself that I think there's some liminal space. I've entered some area between my lessons. This is a reminder to you and a reminder to myself. There is no in-between. There is no limbo. You're not going to get your lessons out there. Your lessons are where you stand. And if you're pissed off in your moment, waiting for your lessons to happen at that yoga retreat or that breathwork session, knock, knock. You're drawing a box around the divine. You're swimming in it. It is you. It is everything. And every little thing that pokes at your heart, that tells you to hate or to judge, or that takes your energy or all your emotions that you're fucking spilling through your phone on some issue that you shouldn't be involved in because none of it's actually real anyways. You're dimming your light. You're reducing the chance for you to find your light so that you can flow, and with that light, you can actually create lasting change, not by force, but by reminding others of who they are through your unconditional love. This is a reminder to myself. You're not in limbo. Find that thing that's pissing you off. That's where the work is. That's the crack inside of you where the light needs to come through, as Rumi said so beautifully. Look for those cracks and do the work. And know that the work you do and the healing you do on yourself is the healing you give to the world, and that's the only way to make positive change. This is a reminder to myself. I hope all of you are doing well out there. If you're still here, bless you. Thank you for being on this trip. Drop it a like, leave a comment. Drop something in the comments about what you're judging. What's pissing you off? What's one of those things that's irking you that you try to avoid that is probably actually where the work needs to happen? Let me know. Now, I'm not saying healthy boundaries aren't real. I'm not saying that a rose should try to grow in a desert for its entire life. There's something to be said for environments. But there is something to be said for the work that can be done in the friction and using it as your teacher. So let me know, what is that friction for you right now? Right now, for me, it is, oh gosh, there's so many things in the city that have been brought up since being in Tulum. Again, the food in the parents-in-law's cupboards. I love them to bits, wonderful people, but you open the cupboards and it's filled with poison, just all the worst poison. And I want to, come on! And that's not the way to do it. And then there's a guy downstairs. And every day he's horking and coughing and making so much noise. And I just want to say, get out of here, go back somewhere else, leave this place. Why are you here? You don't have the right. And I think of every time I've sneezed and blown my nose and spoken loudly on the phone and the echo sound I've made in this world, and I think, there's probably something here for me. Can I forgive? And you know what actually happens, which is beautiful, when I forgive and I actually find unconditional love, not pretending, but from the heart, a small miracle happens and the noise gets turned down, not just in my reality, but there's less horking, there's less coughing. You know what my prayer became? Not for him to go away, for him to heal, for him to feel good, for him to feel better. What a beautiful transformation. So catch yourself in your judgments, drop a comment below, let me know where you're at, share the conversation. I just got a new camera. My last one crapped out, that's why I've been down on videos, but I'm excited to reconnect with all of you and bring out more downloads. Love you. Peace, folks.